Hello, my fellow team members. I'm mighty glad to be here today, and I hope that you are too, as we have another opportunity to learn, help others, and create a peace of mind experience for our customers. Today's conversation centers around going deeper in our conversations about asset protection and about life insurance. And the scenario is during a review or with a new customer, or anytime you feel like you can go deeper in the conversation with a customer. So let's start by understanding that if I know more about you as a person, as a customer in your situation, then that's going to enable more effective conversations. So I encourage you to use the FOR, Family, Occupation, and Recreation, to learn more and to gain more understanding about this particular person. But let's start with the asset protection part of this. Now I'm in a review and I'm talking about liability limits. And so I want to ask a very important question. And sometimes these questions that we want to ask are considered disturbing questions. And a disturbing question is meant to get someone thinking, make them feel a little bit uncomfortable with the question, but that's sometimes what you need for someone to understand. That's the asset protection part. Let's see what it sounds like. I've got a customer on the line now. This is Lulu, and we're in the middle of a review, and I'm getting ready to talk about her assets. Hey, Lulu. Yeah. Hey, before we get done talking about your auto insurance, I want to ask you a few questions here to make sure that if you got sued, that you wouldn't be risking the money you've saved and your financial future. Does that sound okay? All right, so if you were in a car accident and someone was hurt and there was a lawsuit for $700,000, how much of that would you expect State Farm to pay? All of it, yeah. That's what I understand to be true. If you got sued, you'd want us to jump in and pay for it and help you out. Well, in this scenario, State Farm would pay out $100,000, not $700,000, and you'd be left with a $600,000 lawsuit where you had to come up with that money or declare bankruptcy or something would happen in that regard. Your personal assets would be at risk. So let's ask a question about how much they could come after you for. How much equity would you say that you have in your home? Okay, that's quite a bit. Outside of your retirement accounts, 401k and IRA, do you have other financial assets like savings accounts and investments and things that would be at risk if you were sued? Okay. Any idea what the approximate total there is of what you have? Okay, no problem. Well, listen, based on what you shared with me, I would recommend that you carry a personal liability umbrella. They're really inexpensive and they provide a lot of peace of mind, and they'll give you $1 million of extra coverage no matter what you're doing. Does that make sense? So that's a little bit how it sounds. Let's talk about diving deeper now in terms of life insurance conversations. There's a good segue here from assets to life insurance, and let's see how that would sound. I still have Lulu on the phone. Okay, Lulu, we've been talking a lot about assets, protecting your assets. One of the biggest assets that you have is your current and future earnings, and that's where life insurance comes in. Let's take an inventory of life insurance that you have now. Do you have some coverage through work? Okay. And typically in Illinois, the law says 1 times your annual salary. So you have that through work. What other policies do you have right now that you own for yourself? Okay. $100,000 there. Okay, understand. And so would that be then your total? The total amount through work and this $100,000 policy that you have? All right. So let's say, God forbid, that you passed away yesterday and your family is left with this $150,000 of life insurance coverage that you have. Is that going to allow them to maintain the same standard of living that they have now? You know, State Farm life insurance is very affordable. Would you like to see what it would take to close that gap or part of that gap and create some peace of mind for you and your family? So I asked some disturbing questions. I went a little deeper, really working to get the inventory to understand how much coverage you have now and how much coverage you need. Certainly, 10 times your annual income is what we recommend, but you could also go through a more detailed needs analysis. Now, as you're doing this, knowing the customer, knowing that they're 35 years old with 2 children, that's going to be one where for life insurance, you're really going to want to zero in because you can see that they have a large need based on their family situation. To contrast that, the customer who's 70 years old and has some gray hair may not need as much life insurance because he's beyond that phase, but he's accumulated a lot of assets and an umbrella becomes critically important for that person. So know your audience, know the person you're talking to. Make this your own. Take the pieces that you want, enhance it, make it better, and have fun creating more peace.